Welcome to Harrah's Resort in Atlantic City, where day one of the 2024 US Open Pool Championship is coming to a close. I'm joined as always by Karl. Boys, Karl, talk to me a little bit about the first day. It's great to get the event back underway, isn't it? The US Open is special for everyone.
Yeah, it really is. And do you know something what I've spotted as well? We've been here a few days. I feel like the hotel seems to be kicking on as well. I feel like the whole venue seems a little bit better. Is it our third, fourth year here now?
Fourth year now.
Fourth year, yeah.
But yeah, there feels like there's a bit more of a buzz, doesn't there?
Yeah,
you know?
and there's a few more restaurants, a few more shops. So everything feels like it's getting better. And, you know, this really does feel like it's the home of the US Open now, which is important.
Yeah, there's bigger crowds year on year, isn't there? The top players keep coming out. Legends as well, Karl. A legend actually playing at the moment in Earl Strickland against Pierce Louboutis. He's had a bit of a day, hasn't he?
Yeah, they're playing sort of just over there behind the camera. There's a bit of a clap. That's because Earl the Pearl's just tied it up, 7-7. Pierce Louboutis, one of the, you know, that chasing pack who are trying to break onto the tour light and do what Capito's done, and obviously Mickey Krause, and he's in a bit of a battle there now. Have you seen his shoes that he's got on, by the way?
His shoes are unbelievable. I was out filming. He had these huge platforms. His cue as well.
I need to, mate, listen,
Honestly.
I need a favour off you.
Go on.
I need you to have a word and say, oh, I want you to film a what's in the bag.
Yeah.
And then me and Ben will just film it
That's
with him.
a shout.
Because somebody needs to see this cue. It's
100%.
a joke, isn't it?
I'm surprised. I've seen him before at other events with his cues. He doesn't really let anyone touch them. Normally he's quite protective over that. Kopi Ni went up to him on the practice table and asked if he could have a go, and he's absolutely speared in this 7-ball.
Oh, really?
Oh, nicked the cue back off him, saying, I taught you something, I taught you something.
And you know something else? I don't know if he has done today, but I noticed him at practice this morning. He had 2 pool cases.
Oh,
He's
really?
carrying 2 pool cases around. So
Have you spoke to him?
No, I've not actually
No?
seen him up close yet. But listen, he's 64, 65. He still plays great. You know what I mean? He's a joke.
Yeah, talking of legends, we spoke about a little bit in our preview show, a little bit of a different US Open this year. We've had matchroom president, the man himself, Barry Hearn at OBE, in the arena, hitting balls all day.
Mate.
He is loving it out there, Karl. Have you spoke to him?
Mate, I've spoke to him quite a lot. Listen, it's been the strangest day of my pool life, honestly.
Go on, why's that?
Just because, you know, we're at the US Open. I don't play pool anymore, so it always feels a little bit weird. We're at the biggest major, along with the World Championships.
Yeah,
them two sit at the top of the pecking order. And I was in comms, right, and I was watching a match at this table. It was Ignacio against, what was it? Levy. Right?
Oh, yeah,
Unknown American, right? It was 2-2. Levy's miscued 4 times in the match. I'm like, how's he won 2 racks? Right? At one point, no, it was 2-2 and he's potted 3 balls and had 4 cues. So I'm like, what's going on here? Then I look to the left, right? I've got Earl Strickland playing with platforms this big and a cue that's about that long, and the wrap, I'm not joking, it's the thickness of the mic, it's about that big.
It is unbelievable.
So I was like, what is going on? Then I looked to the right and Barry Hearn's coming looking like Fast Eddie Felsen in his shirt and his cue. And he's practicing with Andy Goldstein. I was like, what the hell is going on?
It is mad,
here?
but I think that's pool for you in a nutshell, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is pool, yeah.
The US Open pool we're going to be for a great week, aren't we, Karl?
Yeah, we are. And to be honest, you know, I feel like today's been a little bit subdued.
Yep.
It's the first day. Obviously, only half the field play.
Yep.
So I feel like after day 2, things start to bubble up nicely. And of course, we've got the finals on Saturday.
Yep.
So you would think a lot of the pool fans are going to come maybe on Thursday for the last 3 days.
Yep.
Because obviously, you know, it's not cheap for people to travel around now. And I just think at the end of the day, if you're going to come, you're thinking, oh, I'll get there for, you know, the last 3 days. It's the weekend. And I think this event has started off a little bit quiet, but listen, you know as well as me, it is going to kick off at some point.
I'm really looking forward to the fact that the event finishes on a Saturday, Karl. What do you think about that? We tend to have our majors start on a Tuesday, run all the way through to a Sunday. Do you think Saturday night, there's something about that, isn't there?
Well, it means when it's finished, I can go and have a good night for a start, 'cause it's Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go.
No, I mean, yeah, Saturday night feels like...
it's proper, isn't it? Moscone ends on a Saturday now as well, so you know, it's got that kind of party vibe, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It just feels like everyone's happy it's Saturday. No one's got to get up on Sunday and work. Obviously, when we do it, usually people might have to go to work. And but listen, I just feel like at the minute, once we see everybody playing, and obviously we get to that winners qualification match,
that's where it starts to ramp up, doesn't it? And I think it's fair to say, let's not kid anyone. We've had a few buys this week, haven't we?
Yes.
So what that means is that a lot of the top seeds have had buys through to the winners round 1. So we've not seen a lot of the top dogs as much as we probably would have seen, but that means we're probably in for some really tasty matches from tomorrow onwards.
Yeah, definitely. Once we start getting, I'll tell you something else.
Yeah, go on.
What about Jeremy Jones, by the way?
I was going to get onto that. I think let's just get into it right now. That was unbelievable. I mean, just to give people a bit of context, former champion, 2003 US Open champ. You know, thought he was just going to be on comms all week. We had some spots. Emily Fraser threw it out to JJ as a former champion. JJ, do you fancy having a go? He said, yeah, why not? I'll dust the queue out. Where is he? Is he on there?
Yeah, I'm just looking.
He's on this front. 2003, there he is, in between Ralph Souquet and Gabe Owen.
Yeah, there we go.
The man himself's come out. He's beaten Tyler Steyer, who's chasing down a Mosconi Cup spot.
He must be sick.
Sick as a dog. Hill. Did you see that out at 8,
Mate,
by the way?
I did. I was actually in comms. I ran over.
I actually saw you standing on top of your chair
Yeah,
to
I still
see
couldn't
that.
see the tables. That was a bit silly. I mean, if I'd have fell off chair, I might have
we
killed Phil Yates.
Safety, don't worry.
Yeah, I might have killed Phil Yates if I fell. I ran over to the table. It was just over here. He had a tricky one ball. He nailed it. And
that was unbelievable, that one.
It was a great shot. And then I said to Phil, I says, Phil, I'm going to go and disappear and watch the end of the match.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, and I watched the last 5 balls. He made a really good run out. And obviously beating Tyler Steyer. He's now in winners qualification. He's playing Thorsten Holman.
Yeah, who's sitting over there actually, might I just add, sitting there watching us do off the rail now.
But listen, I mean, that's going to give you a lot of confidence. You know what it's like? It's weird. All of a sudden a match goes close. Everyone goes over to the table. You've got your camera there. Taka's there with bleeding camera in his hand. Everyone's getting phones out. It's an unusual position to be in when it goes hill. You have got to have nerves of steel.
Especially someone like JJ yourself as well. You played in the UK Open. I think I'll probably come over and sharked you a little bit in one of your hill matches against Karl Naderberg. You know, when you're not in that environment so often and it happens, it's hard to get yourself in that mindset, isn't it?
Yeah, because winning a match like that gets you in the mindset. He's now in the mindset. If it happens tomorrow against Thorsten, or day after, he plays. He's got a day off tomorrow, so he's back in comms. He's skiving comms all the time. Cheeky git.
Don't talk to Scott Frost about that. He's still not over
I've done some skiving, to be fair. So obviously, you know, now he's won that last rack. That's what you've got to do.
Yeah.
Now he's going to believe in himself. Listen, who knows what's going to happen? But listen, he will be a little bit sick, Jeremy Jones, because when I played Scottish Open, he played Scottish Open, and I played UK and he played UK, he said to me, he says, "Are you playing US Open?" I said, "No." He said, "Come on, pal, play." I said, "No, I'm not really bothered. I'd rather just concentrate on all this work." So at the Scottish and at the UK, we did a last longer bet, 100.
Oh my!
So
you've had an absolute touch there.
He gave me 200.
He'll be fuming.
He's in winners qualifier. I didn't play.
Well, at least he'll make some money back now if he goes a little bit deeper. But let's not get away from the fact Tyler Steyer became only the 3rd player in WNT history to win back-to-back ranking events. So that goes some way. I know they were small ranking events, but the fact that only 3 players have done it. I know that he had some minor surgery a little while ago, so he's feeling his way back in. But I spoke to him before he played today. He said he's feeling good. He fancies a great run this week. He's right in the mix for the Mosconi Cup as well. So I know he's still got another chance, but that'll be a hammer blow to the confidence to lose to JJ as well, you know, who was his captain at the Mosconi Cup, let's not forget, last year.
Yeah, that could be a tough pill to swallow. I mean, at the end of the day, listen, we're still in the qualification rounds. It's all about getting your name in the hat for the final 64. Tyler's still in that hat because we're still in qualification area. So listen, it's not all doom and gloom. And a lot of it, you know, when you go over when you go over to that one loss section in qualification, a lot of it can depend on who you play. You know, you might get a bit of an easy route. Sometimes it can be bloodbath, but you know, he's still in, so we'll see.
We've had some great runs as well. You've got to think about Fedor Gorst in Saudi. The World Championship losing to Mustafa Alnar first round goes all the way. Skylar Woodward, someone who tends to lose quite early, and he's had 3 third-place finishes in his last 3 World Nineball Tour Opens. So, you know, people can find their way through, and like you said, it might be a chance for Tyler Steyer. He shouldn't be too downbeaten off the back of that, should he?
No, listen, we start with 2, 5, 6. After 3 days, we see which 64 have made it through. So, listen, it's far too early to start worrying. Listen, Tyler Steyer might make it through. JJ might lose his next 2 matches.
Exactly.
It happens a lot.
It does happen.
What else have we found today?
We've got Barry Hearn and Andy Goldstein playing tomorrow.
Mate, tomorrow is going to be off its air tomorrow.
I cannot wait. You thought today was weird.
No.
Tomorrow's going to be a different level. In this very arena, the Gale Force, Andy Goldstein, will be playing Ralph Souquet, the
just
Kaiser.
Banter. It's just clean banter.
1996 US Open champion, playing Andy Goldstein. It's just like, what's happening here?
I've done a bit of filming with Goldstein today for TalkSport, and I've spoke to him a lot. We got him in comms. He was brilliant in comms.
Was it?
Yeah, we had a right laugh. Good chat. Obviously, you know, he's a talker.
Yeah, he loves it.
So it was great. And in comms, I said to him, I said, what you're going to experience tomorrow is absolutely off the charts, because I'm not going to be able to go to Wimbledon and play Novak Djokovic in round 1. It ain't happening. I'm too fat for a start, but it just ain't happening, right? I ain't going to be able to walk down the 18th green with Tiger Woods at Augusta.
No.
He's going to be sat in one of these chairs in the main arena at US Open that's going to be shown all over the world playing Ralph Suke, and that is the beauty of Nineball pool and having these open events. If you're not a dab band with a pool cue, pay your entry, enter a qualifier, and we'll see what you've got. He's been drawn against Suke. What a moment.
And then when he sat down in that very chair, if he takes a look over his shoulder, he's going to see matchroom president Barry Hearn behind him on the streaming table taking on Conrad Eustachian.
Do you know what? I think it's the second match tomorrow and I'm in comms.
Oh, love that.
Beautiful.
You going to go nice on them? Go easy?
No, yeah, listen, I get it. You know what I mean? He's not like a terrible player. I said it in comms. You know, he can pot a ball. He's better than your average person.
Yeah.
Is he going to beat Suke? Well, he isn't. But
no.
Listen, it's going to be interesting to see just the whole, how the match unfolds, what chances he gets. You know, Ralph might miss a tricky 9-ball in rack 1. He nicks the rack. You just never know.
Any other matches stood out for you today that you've been in comms, or I know you've been around sort of floating, sweating the action on a lot of different...
Skiving, we call it. Skiving, yeah.
Sweating, skiving, same thing. But
well, you were stood next to me, so you've done a lot of skiving today.
Done a lot of that today.
What matches? I think obviously standout match is Jeremy, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the headline, isn't it?
Yeah,
today?
I've not watched loads, I won't lie.
I've got to admit to the people watching as well, in the preview show, I picked a Klenkatchi to win the event.
Yeah, that was a school.
He's not even in it.
He didn't even.
I should have done my research.
No,
I don't know why he's not played. Do you know anything on that?
Yeah, I mean, he's qualified for Reyes Cup. He's qualified for the Mosconi Cup. He said he's obviously had that injury. He said it's still, you know, it's never been 100% since he come back.
Okay.
It feels like it aches a lot and it twitches and all this. So it feels like he's just going to miss the next few events. Listen, US Open is the biggest tournament we have.
It's a shame he's not here.
It's a shame he's not here. He got to the final of the World Championship. But listen, a pool player's dream, let's be honest, you're desperate to get in the Mosconi Cup team. That is goal number 1 because we know how sick it is. The arena, everything, the 4 days play, it's unbelievable. Now we've got the Reyes Cup, so he's in both. So listen,
can't wait for that. It's certainly boiling up to be a fantastic year, Karl. Early predictions, we've got the trophy between us, the famous Barry Berman trophy. It looks amazing, doesn't it? You've come very close to holding this yourself, actually, haven't you, Karl?
Well,
9 years ago now.
I've held one very similar. It's a little bit smaller, and that's what you get for runner-up. It's drilled to my wall at home. Yep,
I know it's still early days. We've only had half the field, but who's your money on? Who did you say in the preview show? I can't remember now.
I've picked Shane Van Bonen. He's yet to play. Obviously, he's playing tomorrow. He ended up coming back and beating Fedor Gorse in the challenge match. That race to 120. Shane Van Bonen plays his best pool when he lives on the pool table. That's just the way he plays. I think Shane, he's going to get the job done. I think he's going to create history, and I think he's going to do it for a 6th time.
That would be some story.
Now, obviously, you only get one pick. You've picked a player that's not even in the event, so I'll give you another pick. Who's it going to be?
Free hit. Who am I going to go for? I'm going to go for, I'll tell you why I'm going to go for this, because I'm a little bit of a nerd now. Now I've been in the pool game a little while. I'm going to go for Fedor Gorst, and the reason I'm going, I know it's not an outside pick, everyone. He did get to the final last year, but the reason I want it's a little bit selfish from the social angle, the stories. No player in history, I've done the research, I've fact-checked this myself, no player in history has ever held at the same time the World Pool Masters, the World Pool Championship, and the US Open.
Mate.
Now the World Pool Masters and US Open, the World Pool Masters and the World Champs has been held by multiple people. Ralph Suke's been one of those chaps.
Yep.
No one's added the US Open at the same time. I mean, I know I spoke about it in the preview show, but I think we'd have to go and call it the Fedor Slam or the Gorse Slam. It's never been done before. I mean, imagine the story there.
Mate, it would be one of the craziest things we've seen in the sport, and the timing that he could do it when the sport, you know, pool has never been as big as it is right now. We're still down here.
Yep.
We know where
let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, we know where this can go, but listen, it has never been as good as it is right now. Also, a bit of breaking news.
Yes,
Earl Strickland has just tied the match up. There you can see his name's in red. He's playing Labutus. It's Hill, so they're about to do a 1-rack shootout over there.
We might not be talking by the time that match finishes, but we will update you all on socials, and live scores are on WNTLivescores.com. A little word on Earl before we do wrap things up. How great would it be to see the great man himself go on a deep run this week?
Well, if he wins that rack, he's in winners qualification. Not sure who he plays. we'll have to head over to WNT Live Scores to check that. But listen,
he's on the break though.
Listen, he can still play, that man. You know, don't forget the 4-inch pockets. He's mid-60s. You know, he's a keen runner. He plays a lot of tennis.
He looks good. He always looks after himself.
Yeah,
doesn't
he does. He does not look like a
average 63-year-old.
No,
does
he doesn't. No. What a guy.
We will update you all on that in good time. For now, that is the end of Off the Rail. We'll be back on your screens. What time? 10 a.m, isn't it?
10 a.m.
Matchroom Multisport YouTube for Table 1. TV Table live on Matchroom Pool YouTube. For other broadcasters around the world, head to matchroompool.com. We will have all the info that you need there. From myself and Karl, see you later. Cheers, pal.